do not adjust your camera. So, one of the Goodwills I go to, somebody that works there is just real lazy, and they don't want to bag anything up and sort anything, so they do this. So, for scale, this is it's about the size of a basketball. And it's just a big honking bag of toys. And this is good or bad, because sometimes the problem is they price them high. Like sometimes these bags are $10, and it's hard to find something in there that's going to justify value. So I got this one today. I picked it up. We got this guy here. This is Lightning McQueen and Mac. I've sold this before. It goes for about $15, but the price tag was $5. And with large scale toys, I try to get at least 5 times. My general rule is 3 times what I paid into it. I'd like to get out of it, but with stuff that takes up space, I go for 5. So I picked it up, and I'm like, it's $5. I'd have a coupon because it's Mother's Day, and I'm like, we're right on the cusp. And I turned it around with a lot of Hot Wheels in here, which I don't buy intentionally. That's on our high supply, high demand list, that you don't make a lot of money on them. And there's some bigger cars. There's a cheap like Spider-Man stretchy that's worthless. And I put it down. And then I did the whole rack, and there's nothing else. I'm like, I hate leaving empty-handed. I'm going to look at this one more time. And as I'm shuffling it around, this guy comes out. And he's not a car. So, I'm like, this is a Pokemon. And I managed to flip it over in the bag. And the bottom says Pokemon and a date. It does not say manufactured by McDonald's. And that's where a lot of Pokemon stuff comes from. And I managed to get an angle on it because Google Lens hates plastic bags when they patch them. But I got an angle to get a view of it, and I looked it up, and it's going to be at a price point to justify this bag. I haven't busted them out yet, but we're going to start with that. I can get the bag open. I got no problem leaving a store empty-handed, but like, we're going to start with this guy. But this one's pretty far away. Alright. As per usual, I'm going to sort this bag. And then we might do a couple listings. We'll definitely list them. Tried some new stuff with the camera. I got the Lazy Susan. Now the thing is, the camera's too far away now. I had it right about here. And the thing is, when I was doing stuff with the toys, my big stupid hand kept getting in the way. So I figured this would be a little easier to work and you can see what I'm doing. So I gotta find like a nice middle ground with the camera because it's zoomed all the way in right now. And you kind of can't even really see what I'm doing here. Or I gotta get a platform like right where I'm just peeking onto the screen. But I think moving the camera would just be easier. So, as per usual, maybe I'll just move it a little closer. It doesn't look too bad. The camera's also cheap. So, it was the detail that got me. There's quite a bit of detail in this. And it's a PVC or vinyl. So, when I looked it up, it's a boxed collector's edition of this figure. I believe it's called Umbreon. So we're going to list this one now. I'm going to get my picture of Umbreon here. The Dark Impulse is also the name of it. Yeah, I don't like the camera where it is now. Well, it's too late now to mess with it, unfortunately. We're going to have to figure something out. Like a hinge on a wall that comes down with a camera on it. Something like that. It's a tough space because I got the 2 monitors, and if I put stuff kind of too close, I can't actually see the computer to do anything when I'm doing this. But let's see. All right. Oops. Let's look this up. I believe it was Umbreon Pokemon. And it was 2017. Umbreon. Okay. I'm not a Pokemon guy. It came out when I was a little too old for it. Otherwise, I'd definitely be a Pokemon guy. It's kind of right up my alley. But I think it really started coming of age when I was in high school, and I was like, I already done Magic the Gathering at that point. It wasn't really grabbing me. So let's see. I might have to put in figure, because I'm getting plushies and cards. Yeah, try figure. And you'll see why I grabbed this. And here's one. Dark Pulse. That one's going for, they're asking 35. This one's asking 35 as well. This is what I wanted to click on. So this one's in a box, and that one's going for like 52. I just want to make sure it's not damaged. And the best thing to do is look at a legitimate picture. So these things are kind of, I think these things are freeform, really. Like, I'm willing to bet it's not completely circular at all times. It might be. But I don't see a way it would clip to anything. It doesn't clip to itself. Let's look at this and see if he's got a lot of good pictures here. Yeah, so it doesn't attach to anything. It just goes around. I don't like that this one is kind of like flipped over almost. But it's not hooked to anything. Yeah, it looks a little better now that I did that. But whatever. You can always reshape this stuff. You just have to be pretty creative in how you do it. But that's why I bought the bag. Because this guy will more than pay for the bag. So Umbreon, Dark Pulse, 2017. Start my listing. But I won't do any other listings for this one, I don't think, because it's here to pay for it. We'll just go sorting through and looking at what was in the bag. It was a good day. Got this bag. I got a toy I'm going to lead off the next video with, because it's kind of cool. We might end up having to fix it, maybe not. And then I got so a trick with Goodwill is if you are a member, which is absolutely worth it if you resell. It's like $15 a year, and you get 5% off anything you buy, and then if you spend over 100, it's 75, which I've never had happen, but if it ever does, that'd be cool. But they send you coupons, and it's just a text message. So you just show it to the cashier, and they're like, okay, and they punch it in. Which means if you have multiple Goodwills near you, you can double and triple dip on that coupon. So today they threw out a surprise 30% off, and I took full advantage of that. So I got a copy of Super Mario Brothers for the Wii. It was in the cabinet for 15. I got it for 10. I listed it for 25, and I sold it within 3 hours. So I doubled my money in 3 hours. If it always went like that, that'd be super cool. Alright, so let's get our sold listings. So of course the ones in the box don't count, but we got 41, we got 26, we got 26 again. And we got some box ones that are in the 50s. So while I don't think this will necessarily fly out the door for $5 plus all the other stuff in the bag, including the truck I know I can get $15 for because I've sold a few of them in the past. So I'm just going to see what we're looking at here. So I'm at like 25, I'm guessing, and then I very much undercut everybody. And that's what it's all about. Like that Wii game I flipped. The going rate was 28. I put it for 25 and I sold it in 3 hours. If I put it for 28, I might have had it for several weeks. I'd much rather flip it quickly and get my money back. Well, double my money in that case. So I'm going to do 25 free shipping on this. So lower than everybody else, lower than all the sold listings as well. All right, we got that up. Without further ado, let's go through the rest of the bag. Take a gander at what we have, throw some stuff away if we got to. All right. So we got nothing I was on the fence about. So this is the Mac Lightning McQueen travel trailer. These sell pretty well. I did one for Christmas. It was kind of a hassle because they didn't buy anything for their kid, and it was the only thing on earth that kid wanted. And they wanted like rush delivery, but they didn't want to pay for it. And they got it like the day after Christmas or something. It does have some like candy or something on it, but that'll come off. Now, the cool thing about it might be played out. The cool thing about toys that have compartments is you never know what's in here. Alright, so this is actually a really good version of this. There are several versions. Some of them are just a carrier, but this one has the whole workshop in it. I would have to look up how, if it's complete and how to assemble it. But this is going to be worth more than just the truck. And then I always have Lightning McQueens around. That's one of those, the Pixar cars, the bubble's starting to burst on it because they kind of overproduced. I still sell them. But you always, for every 3 cars you get, one of them's a Lightning McQueen. I have lots of Lightning McQueens for sale, like 5 for $8. They're all like a little different. But I would throw one in just to sweeten this deal, but this is actually going to be worth more than I anticipated because it has that workshop in it. So this might be like a $20 vehicle, actually. And I do have to store it, but if I sell it at a competitive price, I think we're good. And with these, if you're ever to price out this particular truck, you want the model number here, and that'll tell you exactly what it is, because there's so many of these in production, different sizes. Obviously this one has a workshop, some of them are just empty and you just put the car in it. That's a pretty good buy, so we'll probably price that out tomorrow. Alright, moving along. We got this. I can tell you this is from Paw Patrol. On the front here, so this is Marshall's fire truck. It's a little large. I'm trying to see a year on it, but I don't see one. This might move, it might not, because I might have to price it a certain way depending on shipping. It'll be 6 ounces. So that's worth listing, or at least worth looking at. If Paw Patrol stuff does well, especially, I'm sure. I always got a Marshall around. For whatever reason, like Lightning McQueen, Marshall's the most popular figure. So I run into like a 1 in 3. Every time I sell a lot of 3 Paw Patrols, I throw Marshall in just to get rid of them. But if I combine this would actually probably sell a bit quicker. And when you do stuff like that, you undercut people that are selling the same thing. You sweeten the deal, put it at the same price plus a figure. The person will buy it just because, you know, their kid might lose the figure, might want a redundant one, might want one for the bathtub, one for outside. So we could probably move this. Alright, next we have whatever this is. It looks like some kind of a building block thing. Swivel snaps, it's called. I had something like this when I was a kid. What the hell was it called? Jacks, possibly? It was all triangles. And it's really difficult to build everything with just triangles. I did really enjoy it. They'd have like on the outside of the triangle, they'd have a shape that locked in with other triangles. You could build some stuff. Inside it, we got Hot Wheels. Hot Wheels, I sell 5 to a bag, $9, free shipping. And I try to lead off with something that's interesting. So this is a Matchbox 2013. It's a security vehicle. So this kind of stuff, believe it or not, actually does... Oh man, this camera's killing me. Let's see if I can adjust it. Let me get my configuration going here. Actually, I'll go back to this view here. Let's see if we can get this get stuff in frame. Oh, this looks terrible. Back to the drawing board tomorrow. Let's see. Tilt, no, up, down. You see all my damn batteries, my workshop. Got my screwdrivers, my batteries, all my work stuff when I'm trying to fix the toys. But, anyways, to the point. Stuff like this actually sells very well. The reason being, if you are a kid whose dad drives an armored car, you're going to want this. You're going to want an armored car. If your dad's a farmer, you live on a farm, you want tractors. If your dad's a cop, you want cop cars, construction vehicles, etc. So vehicles, something like this will outsell a sports car handily. So I would lead off with that. This would be the front of my 5 that I'm selling, because people would buy it just to get that. And I do have people message me saying, hey, can I just get that one car for like a reduction? And I can't do it because I could only reduce it by $1, really. But they'll buy it. So, 2 Hot Wheels, 1 Matchbox. This, I'm going to get rid of it. It's just going to end up on the floor. My kids will just not build anything with it. They'll rip it apart. Kind of not at that age quite yet when they're playing with stuff like Legos in a meaningful way. Grab more random stuff. Another Hot Wheels. Looks weird. No. Not branded. It's part of something, I'm sure, but of no value to me. Then we got a Tonka, and this is not old. 2020. And again, like stuff like this, kids love this. Bulldozer. I would probably have to double this up to get any money out of it because it's not a big piece. It's not well made. It is die cast in the box here, but the rest of it's plastic. Yeah, the treads don't move. That's kind of bogus. You're gonna put treads on it and they don't go anywhere. So I'd have to do 2 for 8 on that. Let's see what else we got here. Stickers. Alright. So we got a Matchbox Turf Hauler. Kind of an ugly color. And then we got Matchbox Groundbreaker. So these would all do well, like leading off, I think. Again, like an actual functional big dump truck, front end loader, that. So this is Paw Patrol. This is Sky and her stuff. Paw Patrol always moves well. And then we get another Hot Wheels. Nothing to this. Night Shifter. This feels like it actually might be a color change one. And the problem with color changers is that people put them in the bathtub, obviously, and they rust out, but this one doesn't look like it was ever used, if it is indeed a color changer. And enormous, squishy, Spin, or Miles Morales, depending on what your preference is. So this is a Moose product. Moose makes garbage. Moose is a toy company that intentionally makes toys that lose value the second you play with them. Toys that are disposable. They're we get into blind bags and like bases that you can only use one time. So they're kind of the bane of the reseller's existence. I'm going to look this thing up though because it's really large. And I'm kind of curious before I throw it away because my kids will absolutely concuss themselves with this. My 5-year-old actually split his forehead open with a Sonic the Hedgehog stretchy by like pulling it away from him and letting go with the far hand, and it came and he has a scar from it. So this thing's enormous. This would put him in the ER. So Moose, Miles, stretchy. We'll try that as a search parameter. And there it is. First one. Heroes of Gujitsu. Alright. Give them that. That's pretty good. So we got our out of box 24 asking price. $20 results, so people aren't attempting to sell this. So we're gonna try the search parameter Heroes Gujitsu. We got 9,000. And we'll go with Miles. Knock this down. 250 now. And I'm not liking that I have this one here for 12 bucks because the thing is damn heavy. So, yeah, this is probably going in the garbage. $11. Just weigh this thing real quick. Tell you how much it would cost to even ship it. 1 pound, 10 ounces. This will cost roughly $7, $7 to $8 to ship. So at $11, there's absolutely no money in this for me. And just out of curiosity, do people buy these? Why would you buy this for 20? Oh, September. Oh, what? Something's wrong with the search function on this. This should not even show stuff this old. Usually it's 3 months. We got November of 2022. And so when you pay attention to this is important. When you see people reusing pictures like this, because this is clearly the same picture, but 2 different people listing, that usually means this is a scam. $40 and $30, I think not. I do not believe you. This one is believable. That's a real legitimate picture. It's $11 that you got for it recently, but it isn't worth just having this in my home, basically. It's never going to sell. And if it does, it's going to sell at a break-even cost. I don't need the listing. So I'm going to... Yeah, my kids are going to ruin this thing. Whatever, they can... I'll make their day. Ugh. Alright. Blindly grabbing stuff. Alright, so dinosaur. And we know this is garbage. Why? It's not branded. And we can see this seam here. Talked about this before. This is... Toy companies will make a front and a back, so they can have like a different posture in the back but reuse the front, and vice versa, and make like different cheap toys in different colors, so it's like 2 molds stuck together. If it's not branded, you will never sell it, and it's just garbage. That gets thrown out. I don't even give those to my kids anymore. They get too many dinosaurs. Alright. One of those blocks. That. We got this car is kind of interesting. Doesn't have a date on it. It feels older. That's a Hot Wheels, like a crocodile or something silly like that. Another low quality dinosaur. Another Hot Wheels. This is a DC Comics thing. I don't know who this would be. It has a Batman logo, but it's not Batman colors. I don't know. That could be special. And that gives me the flexibility of, rather than doing 5 and having this in there, I could do a lot of DC and throw that in and do like 3. 3 for 8. This is Mighty Pups Marshall vehicle. So, other Paw Patrol stuff. So many cars in here. This is going to be miserable listing these. So this is an off-brand Maisto. And they do sell. Not great, but it will list off-brands together, and I usually try to get something very interesting. This is a Zuma vehicle. Has like a fake mud splatter on it. So if I were doing listings, I'd throw those other 2 Paw Patrols in. Got another Hot Wheel. New Matchbox. I think this whole thing at this point is just Hot Wheels. Nothing really interesting. I'm just going to finish it up, get this video done with. Another Paw Patrol. More of those blocks. And I hate this camera angle. You're never seeing this camera angle again. Some kind of like Transformers car. Speaking of which, tomorrow I'm possibly buying a very large lot of 1990s to early 2000s Transformers. The lot mentions most of them are damaged. Missing arms, missing missiles. But it's a really large bin for $70. I used Google Lens on the picture, and I picked out several of them that go for like 25 bucks by themselves. The question is, how damaged are they, really? So this is Lightning McQueen, and that probably goes with that truck, and that's going to work out really well. So I'm going to be doing a lot of Transformers in the future here. Hot Wheels, you got a... It's interesting. Some very small Luigi Mario Kart. So McDonald's did a series of these, but this is much smaller. J Art. Nintendo. Tomy. So this might actually be something special. It feels different too. Has like a decent feel to it. Unfortunately, motherfucker. You can see that it had another exhaust pipe and it broke off. So, that's probably not going to be usable for anything. I'll put it aside and look it up off camera, I guess. Alright, anything else of value? Yeah, we got a street sweeper. That's something unique that could possibly do well. It says Mattel, so you don't know if it's Hot Wheels or Matchbox, because Mattel owns both now. Paw Patrol. Hot Wheels. I can lead off with that. It's like a turbo excavator. Sounds like you bend your frame trying to drag race into a pile of rocks, but I'm no engineer. This says Marvel. I'm guessing this is like Thor's car because it has like a hammer in the top. We also had that Captain America, so I would probably do a lot involving those. And this is a Batmobile 2020. So you got options on listings and some of these things. In fact, I could do the 4 superhero cars and likely get the same as I would for 5. Yeah. So, besides that Pokemon, nothing super exciting here. So, a lot of listings. Not confident most of this goes, or at least quickly, but it really doesn't matter for what I paid for that bag. $5 listing that Pokemon for 25. The car hauler, Lightning McQueen Mac car hauler with the shop in it for 20. I think I can get that for it pretty easy. And then the rest of this is all just gravy. So, get into some more stuff tomorrow, and then possibly be on a real Transformers kick the next few episodes. So, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.